Yeah, I think we played every minute a very good game, also in the first half. But we came 1-0 down in the first half, and then we said, let's keep pushing because we are playing a good game. And then finally I can score, Rasmus also, and we won the game. It's the most important.
When you conceded that goal, you only had 10 players on the pitch just before the break. Did that provoke anger in the dressing room and wanting to fight back from that?
Yeah, we were a little bit angry because we were 10 players, also out of time a bit, so we conceded this goal. But I said before, we came to the first half in the changing room and we said we have to keep playing like this because we are doing a very good game. We have to fight for each other and then we come back the game.
You had so many chances in the first half and you could feel the atmosphere in the stadium every time you pushed forward. In the second half, was there more urgency from the team as well?
Yeah, I think I played a very good first half, but I missed the chances, and to score is, you can play good, but then if you don't score or you don't win, it's the most important, no? So, but same second half, we start and I score quick, and then the mentality is more different. You are now with more confidence, and I think we play good. Rasmus also incredible goal, so we are very happy.
What does this do? Because there has been a lot of negativity so far this season at Manchester United, but what does this performance, this result do now in terms of momentum, confidence, belief? Yeah,
it's a very important good game because also the fans deserve a win now. Now we are all together with the manager, with the fans, all in the same boat. So important win for us and keep fighting next week and hopefully win again.
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so for the second season in a row, Manchester United come from behind to beat Brentford at Old Trafford. Let's have a look at the way they got back into it, Tim. 90 seconds into the restart and Garnacho with a brilliant finish.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford makes a wonderful pass there. He just delivers it to the far post. He comes on, he watches it all the way. He's got a good sighting of it. The timing of his run is fantastic. He just steadies himself and it's wonderful technique, Jay.
Yeah, I think you have to, because obviously the ball travels a long way, you have to really concentrate and try and get good contact. Yeah, it's a fantastic finish. Brilliant.
Yeah, he had 8 shots today in the game.
Yeah.
He was in the mood, wasn't he? At points, was he making right decisions, though?
No, when he gets on the left-hand side, time and time again, you see him do the same thing, and he hits one with his left foot, and he's always seemed to be laying back, you know, and he hits it high and wide. He needs to get 50 balls every single day on that left-hand side and maybe chop back onto his right, Thierry Henry, bottom corner. You know, he needs to practice. He can still develop, this boy, because he has got talent. He is a real threat. He has got the pace. But at the start of the second half there, they really put pressure on because the sun was in the goalkeeper's eyes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were shooting from everywhere.
They were.
So I think he struggled to see that anyway, but I'm not sure he would have saved it.
As for Rasmus Hojlund's ultimately winning goal,
yeah,
how much of it was composure from him?
Oh, it's a brilliant finish. You know, I mean, he's someone, I think if he don't get enough chances, I think if you give him chances, you know, he can finish, and that great flick by Bruno there. But just here, that composure, just lifts it over the goalkeeper. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic finish. I love goals like that. Because he doesn't panic, you know, he does everything right. You know, the goalkeeper goes down, he has a final look, which is good, and just lifts it over him, calm. It's brilliant. But I think, you know, if you give him chances, he'll score, because he's a good finisher.
Yeah, and the big thing here, Tim, let's not forget, United struggled in front of goal in recent games.
Yeah.
They've gone over 5 hours without scoring in the league. So having 2 of their forwards scoring today, that's going to mean a lot to Ten Hag.
Major positive, yeah. Hopefully they can get some confidence. We see it happen with Tottenham, with Johnson, and you know, I just think they're capable. With the confidence, I think this boy needs the chances. They need to create more, need to get the ball forward, pass it forward quicker, give him some chances and let him get on a run.
Tim was very careful to put that win in context a little earlier, before the break, and the fact that they're around the 10th position still. But for you, Jermaine, does that ease the pressure on their manager?
A little bit. I think he's been there before where he's been under pressure on that, and he just seems to manage to get a win. But like Tim said before, you know, you have to be realistic, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, you played against Brentford, but you should be winning games like this at home.
Yeah.
You know, you should be winning games like this at home and putting in these good performances. So sometimes I think it's more than just a result. You know, I spoke before about, you know, the way you want to see a better playing style, you know, more energy. I thought the second half was really good. You know, a better performance from them. But I think going forward, the games are going to be difficult. And, you know, for me, I still feel like he has to do a lot more, the manager. He still has to do a lot more.
Yeah. For Brentford, their away form's a concern, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair to them, they've had tough games away from home. But yeah, they're flying away from home. But what are Brentford? Brentford are a mid-table side. That's where they're going to be. You know, they perhaps have a run in a domestic cup competition, but they're there to spring surprises every now and again and develop some players, sell them on, and perhaps develop a manager. And maybe he goes to a bigger club. But they know what they are, and I think they're a well-run club.
OK, we've just got to tell you it's full time now at Portman Road between Ipswich and Everton. Everton have picked up another big win for Ipswich, of course, still looking for their first victory of the season. And we'll be bringing you those goals very shortly here on Matchday Live. But let's take you around the grounds.
Has gone in our favour, probably deservedly so when you look at the 90 minutes as a whole. And we will do that now in the company of former United defender Wes Brown. Wes, how good a performance was it and how important a win was it?
I think most importantly, the 3 points. It was a game where there was a lot of pressure on the team, the manager, the players, to get a result. And today, you know, considering we went 1-0 behind just before the full half-time, you know, it was a great comeback. You know, good mentality from the lads to keep themselves in the game and pretty much get themselves back in the game from the second half. So yeah, very good result. The manager would be happy with that, and now we can kick on from there. But it was a game where, you know, you could get a Brentford team that could turn up and give you really big problems. But I thought overall in the whole game we did very well.
Where do you stand on the Brentford goal? Because I do understand by the letter of the law the officials had to remove De Ligt from the pitch because the blood was pouring out of that nasty head wound he received early on in the game. And then Brentford scored from the corner, and Pinnock's headed goal was pretty much scored in the position that De Ligt would have occupied. So
yeah,
where do you stand on the whole situation?
Listen, the ref he could probably do more if you're on the opponent's side or anybody else. You sort of say the letter of the law says until that's sorted out he can't come back on. But I think he was ready to come on before the corner. And I think once you know there's a head injury and you've sort of already attended to it and you're just telling them to wrap it back up, I'm not sure about the rules, but you know it's an important part of the game. The 4 minutes were up of extra time, but you still hope the lads can do the jobs and do better at it. So yes, maybe the referee didn't help, but I still think we need to do better on the corner. But it was a good ball in and a good header from him, but I think Dalot just let him run off him.
I think that's a fair comment, but they seem to feed off that anger, if you like, in the second half because they came out so fast, and Garnacho's goal within a couple of minutes of the restart was exactly what we needed, and it was a really nicely taken finish as well. Yeah,
Garnacho was man of the match for me, and like you said, that second half we can come out, we can be slow, but we didn't put our heads down. We came out with fire, so you could see again the manager has got them all pumped up for the second half. I'm sure they knew they didn't deserve to be 1-0 down, but from Garnacho getting us that goal, you could see us, you know, really involved in the game now. And it was just probably a matter of time before we got the second.
Fans, but Ipswich have got it all to do, and that's yet to come to a conclusion in the first half. We're at the half-time interval in our feature game on Goal Rush. Manchester United were hoping for a change of luck after the international break. It hasn't been the case, has it, Jermaine? Ethan Pinnock scoring in the 5th minute of first-half injury time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, really. De Ligt obviously goes off because of, you know, too much blood on his shirt. But it's saying that now, you know, it's a fantastic delivery. You know, it's a good header. But it's just that Man United's luck at the minute. You know, someone goes off the pitch and you can see from a set piece just before half-time. You know, it's just the way things are going for him at the minute.
Yeah, De Ligt would have been in that space. He's marking zonally in that space. I think we can show you, but you know, don't let him back on the pitch. If you can't stem the blood, don't let him back on, because they're always going to send him off the pitch to get it cleaned up again.
Yeah, it's the referee's call, and clearly that was made, and De Ligt clearly couldn't get involved in terms of that set piece, but United have had chances.
It's the same story, isn't it? It's the same story.
It's now over 5 hours since they last scored in the Premier League.
And, you know, I mean, they get into good areas. I think Garnacho here, he gets into good areas, and that, you know, it's a fantastic save. Not really going to trouble the keeper there at his near post. You know, here again, little intricate passes. Eriksen there, I don't know what he's trying there, you know, hit the target. And here again, you see, like, another chance, you know, not hitting the target. It's quite wasteful. And I mean, it's been the case, you know, for recent weeks now. You know, they get into the final third, and there's no sort of, like, outcome, no end product. Don't really look like scoring.
Are they real chances? Not for me, they're half chances. I think Christian Eriksen's one, the flag was already up for a foul. For me, they need to do better, they need to create more in the 6-yard box.
OK, let's go to Craven Cottage next, at 2 informed sides.
Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. Drama and controversy at the end of the half. Was it controversial? Manchester United were unhappy that De Ligt was asked to leave the field of play, and boom, from the corner, Brentford get their goal, Kenny.
Yeah, straight away when we walked off the pitch, we thought, oof, trouble. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a job's worth here. The referee, technically, yeah, there's blood there, get him off the pitch. There's 30 seconds to go. He's carried his injury for most of the half. I would have loved to have seen him just let him play on till the half-time. That said, brilliant from Brentford, excuse me. Ball delivered into exactly the right area that you want. But again, you have to question the Manchester United defending. Dalot and Hojlund are the 2 players responsible. Look at them, Pinnock and Nathan Collins. And it's Diallo. Spoke about him before the game. His shadow of the player he was last year. This ain't good enough. Look at him. He's touch tight with Pinnock. Little check move to the near post. That's too easy.
That's awful.
Powder puff defending.
This is awful from Dallo. Look at this. That, like, regardless of controversy with the blood, whatever, that is unacceptable. And same thing happened at Tottenham. You cannot defend like that from a set play when you're designated a player. No, I disagree with Kenny. There's a significant amount of blood there. I don't think the referee has a choice, because you have to remember the referee has an assessor up above. If he lets him stay on the pitch there, he might get reprimanded. Kenny, I take your point, but he might get reprimanded. That amount of blood, it's not a little nick and a tiny speck of blood. That is hemorrhaging blood.
The wording is really clear. Any player bleeding from a wound must leave the field.
That's
of play.
significant.
They may not return until the referee or fourth official is satisfied the bleeding has stopped. You couldn't be satisfied the bleeding. The team had a couple of goals at it.
I didn't think there was much there. The decision was for me when he had the injury initially.
That's when. Look at the amount of blood that's in.
Yeah, we've all, myself and Dan, we've all suffered head injuries during the game. When he suffered the injury originally, that was the decision for me when the medical staff had to say, get him down the tunnel. You're going to be without him for 5 or 10 minutes. Let's get this thing stitched up, bandaged.
They were without him, and they couldn't last 30 seconds till it went in. Either which way. They have to readjust. It's life. It happens. They have to readjust. No one filled the hole. Casemiro didn't. I think Casemiro could have dropped a little bit. He was too far outside the post. But my God, Dalot has got to do a better job there.
What about the job that the Man United midfield has done? You singled out Eriksen and Casemiro before the game. Have they struggled?
Look, they've struggled, and this is why I want to. The 2 of them there, Casemiro, Eriksen, gone the high press. Brentford beat it. Look at Eriksen here. So when I use the term, and I've used it several times, no legs, you can't run. That is why you can't go from one end of the pitch to the other without anyone laying a glove on you. Johnny Evans here, protecting himself, so he drops off. All of a sudden, the ball gets played into feet, can't react. Then he's in no man's land and gets played around. The next one coming up here is a ball up the top. 2 midfield players, can't get near. What's the knockdown? They have got to be swarming that area. You just cannot keep. This is actually where De Ligt picked up the injury. Yeah. Here, look, where Damsgaard just drops the shoulder. One pass, takes the 2 of them out of it. Look at the 2 of them in the centre of the pitch recovering. Look at this. Damsgaard has turned a 5-yard deficit into a 5-yard gain on Casemiro. Another little ball. Casemiro can't move his feet, can't get near it. Johnny Evans doesn't want to come out. So I just wanted to put in. Sorry, this is the last one here where just plays it by Eriksen. Look at Casemiro in the middle of the pitch on his own here. He cannot deal with those spaces. So I just wanted to put a visual representation of what it looks like, because I use the term all the time, no legs, can't run. Yeah. You will not win games of football with 2 central midfield players like that.
I can't add to that, but this is it. This is the reality of the situation. You've got to try and fix that. Garte's sat on the bench. You've got to get him onto the pitch, but they're so short in there. This was a team that was dominating possession for 85% of the game. You could maybe suffer it, but they're not. They've had the majority of possession of the ball, Brentford. And when they give up the ball, United, you worry.
1979 was the last time Manchester United lost 3 league games in a row at Old Trafford, so some more unwanted history could be on the way unless they turn it around after the break. Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson is at Celtic Park today watching another one of his old teams, Aberdeen, so that's where he's chosen to be. Not very good news for him because they're 2-0 down there. But Manchester United, to be fair, Kenny, like we showed the goal and we said they deserved to concede, it was poor defending, whatever about De Ligt and all that. They did have probably the better chances in the half.
Yeah, decent enough chances. It hasn't been great. Couple of bright sparks. Garnacho for me has been the most lively down the left-hand side. See Eriksen here. This has been him and Casemiro linking. This is when they've been at their most effective. United midfield too on the last third of the pitch. That's where their strengths are. Hojlund's link-up play, I think, has improved as the half has gone on. Look at that little turn there, straight out to Garnacho. I think he fancies his chances 1v1 against Van der Berg. That's been the bright spot. Jekyll and Hyde again from Rashford on the right-hand side, and for Bruno Fernandes, then you can take that one. Yeah.
Like I made a point at the top of the show that if the game is played at a certain pace, Manchester United can be quite dangerous. They do have technically good footballers and they can cause you damage. I thought Brentford have been very deep. They've been very passive, and they're 1-0 up. I think
Erik ten Hag addresses his future at Manchester United. Erik ten Hag spoke confidently ahead of Manchester United's Premier League clash with Brentford, dismissing concerns about his job security and insisting that the media has fabricated stories about his position. As he prepares to take charge of United for the 126th time, Ten Hag faces ongoing speculation about his future. Reports had linked the club with Thomas Tuchel as a potential replacement before the Football Association accelerated their plans to appoint Tuchel as England's new head coach. Former England manager Gareth Southgate also ruled himself out, expressing his desire to take a year off. Despite the rumours, Ten Hag made it clear that no assurances were needed regarding his role. Entering the room with a smile, he greeted the press by saying, "I missed you all." When asked if he had received any guarantees about his job, Ten Hag confidently replied, "No. The noise only comes from the media, from some of you, not all of you, but some. Creating stories, spinning fairy tales, making noise, spreading lies. Because inside the club, we're all on the same page. I've said this before, even before the break, but some of you didn't believe me. I see the reports, but internally it's quiet. Yes, we are discussing our current position because we're not happy with where we are. We need to turn things around, and we're working on a strategy to do just that. But at the end of the day, we're calm, we're following the plan, and we're very confident that we'll turn this into a success." United currently sits 14th in the Premier League with a negative goal difference after 7 matches, with only Southampton scoring fewer goals than the Red Devils. We have a mountain to climb. This is top football, and sometimes you face challenges. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but I'm confident we'll succeed, just as we did in the last 2 seasons. I see positive signs underneath the surface, good patterns, strong statistics, that show we're heading in the right direction. But the league table doesn't lie. We're not where we need to be, and that's not good enough. The players are performing well. We won last season, and perhaps people forget that. Sometimes we've had to make adjustments due to availability issues, and the team hasn't always been balanced. But overall, the players are playing well. Now we need to start scoring goals, because that's the most important part of football. If you want to win games, you have to score. We're getting into the final third, into dangerous areas, but now we need to take that extra step and convert those chances.